Cornelia. Now, from Romania, we are moving to Bangladesh. And from Bangladesh is also coming an amazing educator, researcher. He is well-known Professor M.D. Shariat Parvez. Welcome, respected Professor Shariat Parvez. We are really honored and we always like to have you here on this IIU stage. So, last time the Kurt at Inga, today here, and next time it's telling the storytelling at Professor Nada Ratkovic. Welcome.
Thank you so much, dear professor. And I am actually very much honored become this kinds of platform on this kinds of important day, the International Education Day. So basically, before I start my speech, I give my just gratitude to uh, IIU and the founder and chairman of our respected brother, Dr. Piyush Pandit, because it's a platform actually where we can make something, the policies and some factor that is actually related to our education, because in front of me there are so many experts and so many that is called brilliant personalities are here. So already dr different kinds of professor, they give their speech like today is actually the point is here that why we are here, we are just sharing our views. And today is the International Education Day, and this year the UN actually celebrating the to invest in people, prioritize education. So investment, when I say investment, because I am the professor of economics and finance, so when I just use this word investment, then my mind always say making some profit. Without profit maximization, why I invest? But here the word use invest in people, so why they are actually using this word in here, and also relate this word with the prioritized education, because if we invest in the people, then our education and training capacity will increase. Definitely it is also fostering our culture, and also it is socialization. So these kinds of things make us a human being. Without investment in people, without prioritized education, it's not possible to get any kinds of good society and good generation. And the point is here that investment, when I say investment, then yes, definitely is give me the benefit, the return. That is, education give us the return, and it generate the positive energy, the positive society, and also it increase the economic valuation in the globalization world, in the world economic globalization field. Now come to the point that in the when I prioritize my education, at that time it is actually focused on the national priorities. Also it is measuring the quality education. Also it is accelerating the progress in innovation and technology, and also it is building the political support also. Now come to the point that in this today's era, like today, this year, UNESCO actually dedicating this year the International Day to the girls and women in Afghanistan who have been deprived of their right of education. That is the main fact, that the female, the women who are actually deprived their education in the country. So in my country, I am from Bangladesh, and in our country we are always prioritize education. Also we empower our women, because we always think that without empowering the woman, without empowering the power of the woman, it's not possible for a society to increase the knowledge in each and every household. Because if I say A, that is, then I was actually learned from A, from my mother. So at first we must respect our women, otherwise it's not possible to build up a what is build up a successful society in our world. Now the point is here that in Bangladesh actually we are tremendously success in this education from our independence. Like in the time of our independence, at that time we have only 18% of literacy percentage in our country. Now in 2020 we have 72% literacy percentage in our country. That is a beautiful change that basically I observe. And our government, our policymaker always try that each and every children must go to the school. And also in our sector, the primary, the tertiary, the secondary and the tertiary, we have total 4.30 crore of the student, and where in our primary sector 2.2 crore of the student, and in our tertiary level the other part of the student, and the ratio of the boys and girls is almost 50-50. That is our main success, because if we sustain it, like if you say yes, I want to sustain the education, I want to sustain the sustainable development goal in our country, then we must sustain the ratio of education, how my children get this thing. But the point is here that there is some uh, point that in our country we are always prioritize education. Like in the independence time we have only 4 universities. Now we have total 150 private and public university in our country. But the point is here that the education actually now related with cost. That is a main point. Basically that is my perception, because if my child go to the private university, then it goes some higher costing, they bear the high cost. So if it is necessary, like in this day we are here, we just sharing our views. If the policymakers are here, they just think this thing that from this platform, that to invest in people, to prioritize education. So it means that we must play a level playing field in our educational sector. Like actually we are the developing country, now we are the least developed country. So here we must give some incentive, or give the scholarship, give the waiver in the public and also private educational sector. Otherwise those who are actually in a private sector student, they are sometimes bearing the high cost. So this will sometimes give them that why I spending so much money in my education. Now come to the point that I know I have very short of time, but today's topic is very much interesting, because if I want to invest in people, then prioritize education, then I must say one thing, that prioritize the quality education. Otherwise, it's not a meaning. Without quality education, it's not a meaning for good education for the children. And also, it is related with the activity based education. Activity based, because if my students are just in a Bloom's taxonomy, if my students are just remembering something, then it's not a good educational curriculum for them. So must prepare a good curriculum with using the Bloom's taxonomy, which related the each and every domain of the Bloom's taxonomy. So like my student must be able to know how to do this technological thing, know how to innovate something, and they have some kinetic energy, they have some power, that after this education they will get something. Because in my I am always sharing my student that don't go for the high good result, for the CGPA, for the GPA, for the great result. Go for the learning method, because if you learn something, then you will apply this learning thing in your upcoming future, and then you will contribute to the society, to the country, and to the nation. So thank you so much for inviting me this kinds of wonderful platform. Thank you, Professor Nada and IIU. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, great Professor Parvez. Thank you for this strong message, really strong message and amazing speech. You are a great educator. And yes, you say a short time we have, but we need to hear the voice from so many educators all around the world. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us today. And I will repeat again a great message for the educators, for the students, and for all, and for all. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so